All right, today we got the legend with us and we're gonna go over to how to switch your feet wing foiling. Or wait, do you need to switch your feet wing foiling? Tune in, you're gonna learn everything about it. Welcome back, you amazing friends out there. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. We really appreciate you. Today we got a super special guest that you've seen him before, the legend, Harry Andrews. He's here with us today to go over how to switch your feet when you've gotten up foiling with the wing, and do you need to switch your feet in the very beginning when you're learning wing foiling. So we have Harry. Harry is a total rock star at everything he does, and we're super privileged to have him. He's very knowledgeable. We get tons of comments. Everybody wants to see Harry, so he's back. He's here to give you the tips. So my question to Harry for everybody out there is, you've gotten up, you're up on foil, you kind of got a feel, and you're doing the ride to one side, you fall in the water, and then you get back up and you go the other way. What is the next step for them? Do they need to switch their feet? Can they just ride toe side?
I don't think you need to switch your feet right away. You don't have to. I mean, it's a progression. It's the next step of progression. First thing you want to do though is turn in your jibes and go the other way without falling.
Perfect. So in theory, when you first get up on foil and say we're going heel side one direction, there's no reason why I can't just slowly roll that board over and start to go around toe side and just ride toe side back the other direction.
Right, 100%. I think you got it.
It's the best way to start.
It is the best way, and that way you don't have to worry about trying to switch your feet, because when you switch them, you may not be in the right center position and you're going to immediately go ballistic and fall off the board. I think when you go toe side, I don't think you get your full upwind advantage.
No, definitely not.
But you're still going to be riding, and you can really, when you go to heel side again, you can really hit upwind again.
And Harry made a perfect point. When you're riding along with your wing, and you're riding along, and then I make that turn, and I go toe side, with that wing, it's harder to go into the wind. So you're a little bit, your hips are all twisted up. So know that when you go toe side, you may actually go sideways to the wind, maybe even a little downwind, but when you turn to go heel side, you're gonna go pretty good upwind because you have more leverage to really go into the wind. Versus toe side, it's actually harder to kind of go into the wind. So know that if you're going toe side and you're going downwind, that's totally fine because it's actually hard to kind of get the comfort of going toe side. Now, like Harry said, and I totally agree with this, I think in the beginning, you should ride heel side one way, make a toe side turn, and all that really is you're riding with the wing, you pull in for a little bit of power, and then you start to go around and you just walk your hands and you leverage on that wing and use that in and out to generate the pull. And whether you're going downwind or upwind, it's okay. Just try to stay consistent, riding around nice and slow. And what's unique is you're gonna be riding toe side, and at any given second, I can just turn that wing and go heel side again the other direction, which means I didn't fall in the water. So it gives you the ability to stay up on foil and go right and left, but you're going heel side, then toe side, which is totally fine. Now, the next step, let's take them to switching their feet, because this is a very tricky part, but it's a very important part for you to have a really awesome day wing foiling. So, Harry, what would be your recommendation to somebody who's riding along, they've gone toe side, and they're ready to switch their feet so that they can ride heel side the other direction?
Okay, I think, first of all, you're up on foil doing your jibes now. You're going to heel side, toe side, and you're on your foil, switching your kite, switching your hands, and so now you do want to switch your feet. Well, it's going to be easier when you're heel side and then going to toe side and then doing your jibe first way before doing toe side and then trying to switch to heel side after you make your turn. That's what I do. I do them opposite. So I don't do both of them. Like, I don't pull off and switch my feet every time. One time I do it before I do my jibe, and the other way I do it when I do after my jibe.
So that's a super good point. I'll hold him for 1 second. What Harry's saying is, when I'm riding, the wind's in my back right now, and I'm riding heel side, I may have a regular stance or switch stance. So you have a comfortable stance that you go toe side. For instance, right now I'm riding heel side. What's comfortable for me is actually to go toe side this way, and I'm riding toe side like this with the wing. Then I would switch my feet. Now if I'm riding this way, I'm not super comfortable going toe side, so I'm actually gonna switch the feet here and then go heel side into my turn. Is that what you were speaking about?
That's exactly right. And so as we're sitting there talking, I'm thinking to myself, you know, some people say, well, I don't know if I want to ride toe side. Well, when you do the switching of the feet, you're going to be riding toe side one direction no matter what.
Yep.
But I think same thing as kite foiling as when we do our wing foiling. First thing to do is just don't try to do your jibes, you're switching your feet on your foil up in the air, because it's disastrous. I don't know if anybody has done it. The thing to do first though, bring your foil down, and you're going at a good speed, but get it down on the surface, then switch your feet while you got some speed, and then bring it back up once you switch your feet, and then do your jibe. Depends on which direction you're going. But first of all, tap the water, switch your feet, and that gives you that stability. And then as you keep doing it 50, 100 times, me it's 1,000 times before I learned it, but after you finally get it down where you just touch down for half a second, you switch your feet and you're going. Well then, next time you want to do it 6 inches off the water. So you have that safety lever there that you're going to keep going, but in case you don't get your feet the right position, you'll bounce down and come back up. Well then after a while, you're going to be a foot or 2 feet, 24 inches off the water. You will be switching your feet, and you won't even have to bounce on the water at all. But I think you want to keep the board somewhat on the water to learn to switch your feet.
Yeah, I mean, Harry said it perfect. Look, baby steps. Take all these steps with wing foiling. It's not easy, but take these steps and build your way into it. So drop that board down. Now, what Harry said is super important that I think is we want to hammer hard is this switching of feet. So if I'm riding heel side and I'm going to switch my feet, this is not like a 3-minute, I'm coming around, I got this, I'm toe side. This is like an instant, real low, real quick with your hips, really quick switch, because it happens fast. You want it to happen fast, because if you take your time, you get unstable. If you're standing up high, you're unstable. So stay low. You can be up high, but you want to be nice and solid, like somebody's going to wrestle you. And I think that quick movement is super important. And Harry's going to go into kind of the most important part in making this switch. Like he said, start on the water, build your way into it, start 6 inches off, 8 inches off, a foot, 2 feet, build your way into it. There's a couple really important points that we can nail to really help you with the switching of the feet. And I'll let Harry explain his side, and then I'll explain my side. But there's a motion when you switch your feet from heel side to toe side, we'll call it. And if you just switch, your foil may just drop down. If you're up on foil, it just goes down. So there's a motion you can do where you can steer the foil a little into the wind, which what does that do? You guys all know, it'll create a little lift, which that board comes up. And if I pull in a little bit on that wing, I'm gonna get light, and that's gonna lift me. And at that lifting moment, I can really quick switch my feet. Now I'm settled back on the board and I can keep riding that direction. But that lift, or turning the board, or creating a little bit of a lightness, going like almost like you're gonna jump, then switch your feet, is like such a key, and it'll make that switch so easy. What do you got? It
does, exactly. You'll see like a 6-inch wave coming in. It's just maybe 6 inches, maybe a foot, maybe it's a 2.5 foot wave. But I always hunt for that little bit of lift, so when I get it, I lift it up at the same time, I'm pulling down on my wing, just a hair bit. You don't even feel it after a while. You have that little bit of lift, and where you get a little weightlessness on your feet. At the same time, as the board goes up, you switch.
Yes.
And it is one whole movement. And the best thing is don't keep your feet close together, because then that's not going to work either. You got to keep your feet further apart.
Yep.
In order then to get that balance regained again once you switch your feet. And then once you come around your corner, the same thing. I hit for one little piece of lip, and I switch over. At the same time, my wings up here, and I pull down. I feel it, just like you do, like a little bit of a pull up. It's not much, but just that little bit that helps you lift off the board. But you do have to have that little. Now, if you're in slick glass, calm water, I actually just bring the board up myself without hitting
flat water. Whatsoever. The best thing in flat water is start with your board lower to the water
and come up.
Bring it up, and as it's coming up, that you pull in on the wing creates a little more lightness, switch that feet real fast. Another thing that I've seen Harry do, which he may not even know he does, but I think it's amazing and you guys should know, is he actually, when he rides, when he's about to switch his feet, he actually may adjust his feet on the board just a hair to help him go the direction he's gonna go. So it's almost like he's getting balance, and then that switch is just super quick versus if I'm just stuck in one spot and I gotta make it all the way around, it's a long ways to go around. But if I actually am riding and I kind of just maneuver my feet a little bit, now when I do it, that switch is super easy, and he's actually the best at that. I don't even know if he knows he does that.
I did it while I was kite foiling, you know, I mean, did the switch of the feet, and so it just transgressed right over to my wing foiling. I mean, it is, but I switch, if I'm only going 50 feet, I switch. Now, if I'm on a wave, a lot of times I'll just stay toe side, come down on a wave and ride. So I think switching your feet is, you want to learn that technique for sure, because it's hard to be in that stance of toe side all the time.
Yep.
But there's a trick to learning to switch the feet. But once you get it down, it really opens up so you can switch your feet even going downwind.
Exactly.
But you lift your board up. There's a key to it. I got on a guy's board the other day.
You want to do backflips?
I'm too old for that. I
Sure.
saw it and I thought, you know, he's having some issues even just going upwind or downwind and getting started. And I said, let me ride your board, because his foil was in totally the wrong place. Mm-hmm. And if your foil's in the wrong place, you're not going to switch your feet, because as soon as if you take any movement off the board, it's either going to go straight up or straight down, no matter what. You need to have your board balanced and your foil in the right spot to start this whole game, I think.
That's an awesome point. And what Harry's really saying right there is, if I'm riding on my wing and I'm 100% like full back foot pressure just to stay flat, your jibe is going to be very hard, or your switching of the feet is almost going to be impossible, because I literally have to keep all that weight in the back to do that, which is going to be very hard. So that means if you're all back foot pressure, you got to move your mass forward, you got to have your board nice and centered. So very good point. If your foil is not balanced, it's going to make your switching of the feet even harder for sure, which is a very good point.
So, and then ask your fellow wingers, you know, hey, can you check to see if my board's right? Because they're going to be used to riding their board, which is probably balanced, and they'll go, oh man, the front pressure is so great, you need to move your foil forward.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, if it's got a lot of pressure in the front, you got to move it forward all the way. And I just saw a friend who was just learning, and I looked at the foil. I thought, to me, it looked like it was way too back. And I said, and I watched them try it, and of course, they were really putting pressure in the wrong place of the board. I said, you know, your foil's I think is in the wrong spot. And they moved, and they go, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. And so
we'll put Harry's cell phone number in the comments so that you can call him. He will help you, guide you right through this. Let's cover 2 important points when you're switching your feet. If I switch my feet and instantly my board goes bang and it goes nose down, that means more than likely my weight is too far forward and my switch was heavy front foot.
yes,
Heavy on the front foot. If my board goes vertical backwards, I may have switched my feet and I sat in the back too far, so that board's rocketing up. So just know, forward or back, that's why that switch needs to be very quick and very low center of gravity, so that you can make that really quick switch. And just know that you can ride heel side, toe side into the next turn, heel side again, without switching your feet. But that switching of the feet will now make your angles upwind a whole lot better, because whenever you're heel side, you have more leverage into the wind. What else we got to add? Anything else you got for these wonderful people out here?
I think that's important, is because if your board's off to one side or not in the center, too far back, too far forward, it
makes a world of difference.
It's a huge difference. But as you progress and keep riding, you'll know where your feet are, and you'll feel them down there. You'll know where your feet are. And sometimes my back foot will be off to the one side, just because I like the leverage when I'm riding a wave that way. But when I go to jibe or switch my feet, it's back in the center. Otherwise, it won't work out right.
You know, one last thing that'll really help you guys a lot: go to the beach, put your wing up when it's windy, and I want you to ride or hold the wing on the beach. So, for instance, the wind's at my back and I'm holding the wing, and I kind of pull in on it, and I feel this lift, and try to work on switching your feet on the beach, and do that many times before you hit the water, so that you can understand that little bit of lift, switch, lift, switch. And that's going to really help you in your switching of your feet when wing foiling, which is for sure something that you want to learn, you will learn, and just take your time at it. Like Harry said, start at on the water, 6 inches, 12 inches, build your way up, and just know that that switch really helps when I take this board and I step a little bit on the back and I let it climb and I create a little pressure in that wing. and I do that quick switch. I don't want this board to be level or dropping and then try to switch my feet, because it's just going away from you. It's gonna be really hard. You want that board kind of, and to get that board to come up, you can just angle hair into the wind and it creates a little more lift, which gives you that lift, gives you that ability to switch your feet. So, saying that, we're here with the legend. I want him to leave on an amazing note to these wonderful people. What do you have to say to these amazing people out there in their progression, or any motivation you want to give them?
Oh gosh,
because you inspire so many people.
No, there's never an end of learning curve to this sport. It's always, there's so many things to learn, and it's like never ending. Once you master all your upwind tacks, duck jibe tacks, downwind jibes, then you're thinking about, maybe I'm going to do a 360 off the lip.
And his son just picked it up in like 2 days or something.
Yeah, it's
was
sickening.
ridiculous.
Yes, I know it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's so much progression in the sport, and I think something I've heard over the last couple of days, which is kind of funny, is that, and my son was one of them, and another person who lives up in Panama City Beach, a good friend of mine, is, they were.
We love you, Wayne.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is, but maybe Wayne.
Anyway, so, and they said, it's so great. I got to the beach, I pumped up, and I went out. And these other guys, they were pumping up that kite, and the wind wasn't quite right. They had a hard time launching. They were on a really tight beach. There's people all over the beach, and sometimes you can't even launch a kite because it's that way. Well, he was on the wing, and it's like, it was so great to get out there and not to have any problems or no, I think might hurt somebody on the beach. So there's some really good advantages to this winging stuff. And my son, well, Matt says, Dad, can I take the van this weekend? I'm gonna go winging. I said, sure, son. It's like before it was kiting, it's like, okay, what size wing? I don't want to get, what size kite I'm on? I make sure I get the right kite. And this, I said, he knows exactly what to do in the wing. You put it up, you go out there and the wind dies, well, you just get in your stomach, you just paddle in. There's no problem. It's like, it's a whole different feeling. But kiting is still fun. I love the kiting stuff. But I'm just telling you, the winging stuff it's like the next level. We're all gonna do it. So hop in there. There's a lot of progression, a lot of work to it. It's that new challenge you're gonna have in life, and it's really, well, it won't get you fit all the time, but most of the time it will.
So, Harry, what he's really saying, which we all really agree with, is look, learn something new. It's gonna take some time. You'll absolutely fall in love with it. It's super achievable. This sport is achievable for you. If you really think you can do it or you wanna try it, do it. You can do this, I guarantee it. It's gonna take time like anything else, but hopefully today we helped you with switching your feet, make it a little bit easier for you to take that next step, ride a little bit longer with your buddies, and make sure to, help everybody else out there that are struggling with it, give them your insight. Hopefully these videos really help you in your progression. We're super lucky to have Harry today, and we wanna see you on the water. Please like and subscribe. Get ready, we got lots more videos to come, and we can't thank you more. So thank you everybody out there. We really appreciate you, and we'll see you on the water.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, sir.